woke up with this on my finger this morning. I don't know how well you can see that, but those look like deep scratches, but they're not really scratches. You see the red where you can see it's like the blood there, but I'm not bleeding. I didn't leak. I did some research online and I found out that there are a lot of believers all over the world that are sharing their stories, and they, have had these experiences. So I felt that it was my turn to share my story. There was one believer. A lot of the people that are getting attacked, these people were actually people who believed in Christ. And I'm guessing, there was one particular one that said what he did was he repented and he followed the commandments of God, and he didn't get these scratches anymore. They went away. So that says that, the protection of God, the protection of Jesus came upon those who followed his commandments and repented to him and didn't sin anymore. So I guess, that's what I have to do, because apparently I'm sinning, and it's given these, I'm guessing these attacks, they either came from aliens or demons. A lot of people say that they're one and the same. It's kind of hard to know, and I guess maybe we really won't know until we get a chance to ask Jesus ourselves. So this is just a sign that we need to really, really repent and get into Scripture, because those of us that have Jesus's full hedge of protection, we don't have to worry about things like these. So, I'm just sharing this because I've always been honest and open 100%. Not too open where I share too much, but just letting you know that, before I had a hedge of protection on me, but if the demons were close enough to be able to scratch me, I believe it was because I started eating the wrong foods. I was fasting properly for, off and on. I did happen to fast about a good 12 hours, almost 24 hours. But then I got a sign that I needed to go out and do something. But I knew that, in fasting, since I wasn't really used to it, I couldn't just go out and do something, while doing a dry fast, meaning no water, nothing in the mouth, nothing by mouth. I couldn't just go out and walk a long walk because I don't have my car anymore, and not get hungry and not get thirsty. And it was I think it was blazing hot that day. So, I drank some water before I went out that day. And that was the only time, like, I actually broke the fast because I had to go out. If I would have continued, I could have probably fasted the rest of that day. And I don't know if I would have made it through the next day. A lot of us, we are just not used to fasting. You know, we are taught that you have to, you can't survive without bread, without food and water for more than 3 days. Like if you try to survive without water for more than 3 days, you're going to, your body's going to shut down and you're going to die if you survive. But, there's a lot of people who have dry fasted, meaning that they didn't have anything, nothing by mouth, no water, no food, nothing. And I've known or I saw where someone actually did it up to maybe 7 days. They expect to go 14 days. Someone told me that in the Bible it says that Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. I want to read to see if he, because he was up on the to be tempted by the devil. So he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and got to see if he actually had any water or anything. But wow, Jesus is awesome, I tell you. But but that's just a hint on how we've been taught a lot of the wrong things. You know, even the foods that we've been taught to eat. Everything is just changing. It is just changing constantly, But it's been proven that you can actually survive. Some person online have actually done fasting for like 5 days, 7 days. I think 14 days was the one that I've seen someone do online the most. And then remember, there's different types of fasting. You got dry fasting, which is nothing in the mouth. Then you got the liquid fast or the water only fast, where it's only water. Then you got the liquid fast, where you actually having liquids but no solids. But they say that if you do the liquid fast or if you do the water fast, you get hungrier more. Dry fast, and it's better because it's helps a lot of things too. But I guess I would only report that if I learned that through experience. So I went on talking more about fasting, but the main thing was when I was doing that, I was eating the healthy and righteous foods. I had stopped eating all the junk food. But when I started going back to the stores and eating the junk food again, I think that one day I just couldn't. I went to the store and I just got so hungry. I couldn't wait till I got home. And I ended up eating a bag of potato chips, bag of popcorn. I had pop. I hadn't had pop in over 2 weeks because all I was drinking was water because I was staying away from the sugar. And so I ended up having a pop. I think I had something else too. And then I felt my stomach just bubble up. I mean, my stomach was doing backflips and apple jacks and all kind of stuff. Um, you know, Before when I was doing the fast, I would tap my stomach, it felt solid. Now I tap my stomach and it feels hollow. Like I don't know, whatever you're eating, whatever we eat with chemicals. Um, oh, that's right, I almost forgot. I didn't do the research myself. Someone else did the research. I don't know how accurate this is, or if someone just put something online. But all we got to do is do it ourselves, and we'll see. What he did was he did a particular brand of ice cream. I think it was called Breyers. Um, but there was some other brands of ice cream that he used to measure up to it. And if you've ever been a kid and you've been at a party and you see where they take a scoop of ice cream and put it inside a little small bowl and send it out for the kids, if it sits out there too long, the ice cream melts. Well, this particular ice cream didn't melt, and it sat out there for hours, and it just didn't melt. Matter of fact, the stuff up under it, like the ice cream, stayed solid, but there was a liquid up under it, and it separated into some kind of bile. I don't know if you ever seen milk when it separates after it gets spoiled, but it kind of looked like that. And it's like, something like that could be going on inside my belly, where you got stuff separated into some kind of bile, but then you also got the solids too. But the solids is just, that could probably explain why my stomach felt hollow, why I felt like it was something in my stomach, but at the same time I'm still hungry. And then when you're eating all of this bad stuff because of all the chemicals and stuff like that, it just make you want to keep eating, and you feel hungry, and you don't even be hungry, but you feel hungry, and you don't feel satisfied until you keep eating and eating and eating and eating and eating. But when you do the fast and you get off that junk food, it goes away. And it's weird, but remember the first couple days that I tried it, there was an intense pain that I had to work through because I had to get used to getting that stuff out of my system. So I guess it was trying to hold on, but eventually you eliminate that stuff out of your system and it's gone. And our bodies are designed to heal themselves if we put the right stuff in it. But we've been feeding our bodies with all this garbage, all this crap. You go to the store and you just look at what's inside the food. Look at the ingredients, and you got like this big old, like 3 paragraphs of ingredients of stuff that you can't even pronounce. And when I bought these potato chips, I felt like, wow, well, this is good. This potato chips ain't got nothing but potato chips, salt, oil that they use to cook potatoes, salt, oil that they use to cook, but it was cooked in peanut oil, which I hear is pretty not healthy. And then there's some other type of natural flavors, and natural flavors fall into some kind of category where you don't really know what it is. But anyway, that stuff just made me more and more hungry. And then I ended up going to the store and I bought another piece of junk food. I really wanted to go and just buy a sandwich. I needed a sandwich. That's what I needed. But they didn't have any sandwiches and I had to eat something. So I bought some more of it. I bought some popcorn. And it just seemed to just make me more and more hungry. I ended up buying a pop. And I don't know, it just kept making me hungry. And then now I got to start it all over again, do a fast and get that stuff out of my system and just start eating healthy. Go back to eating brown rice, vegetables and meats, lean meats and poultry for, maybe it'll take about a week or so before that stuff gets completely out of my system. No, my fault. I think digestive system, it takes about 4 days for to digest and get something out of your system. So it should take about 4 days before my system feels back normal again. But it must have been some unhealthy stuff in the food, because I remember hearing that everything is being mixed in. You got strategy, psychological games, psychological warfare, alien technology mixed with hoodoo, voodoo, rituals, demonic worship. It combining all of this stuff in an all-out blazing attack. So I hear that they're praying over everything, and probably praying over the food, praying for those demonic portals to be opened up. And what I was doing was I was praying against those demonic portals for them to be closed down. And I think maybe I angered the demons. And then when I put that stuff inside my stomach, it gave them leeway. That's what I think happened. I couldn't be for certain, for sure. I'll pray and I'll ask the Lord. But, it's like, if I'm not speaking to anyone that had this experience, they won't know what I'm talking about. And if I've been discredited to a point, if I start talking and everything sounds like gibberish, it's no point for me, bringing it up. I'll just stay quiet and say, okay, whatever. Everything is all about the Lord, of course. So we have to follow what He says. But if I'm in an area, everybody don't have the exact same experience. And if I'm in an area where I can't share my experiences, or someone tells me that what's happening ain't happening, and it's all inside my mind, and I must be nuts or something like that, and I'll go crazy if I could, I can't talk to that person. I'll just stop talking and just say, okay, and I'll talk to them with what they can understand, what they're used to, what they can relate to, because a lot of this stuff isn't meant to be taught to certain people. So, if they, don't already know it, I won't bring it up to them unless, it's necessary or they ask. So I'm just learning this as I go along, because, we got this dimension shift that's on us. And of course, the dimension shift is being caused by the opening of the portals that are letting those demons in here. I was told that we needed to pray against them, but something may have changed, because there's other, God has other children that He uses. Everybody has a different mandate, different purpose, you know. So what I do is, I know how to research and discern who has a true mandate and who's really of God, especially if they have used their gifts and their gifts have been targeted, or they were used to speak directly to me, and the things that they said actually came true in my life and I experienced it. I can't help but know that this person's power is real, that they really, really are having the experiences, and they really are communing with God, and God is really giving them this information. But, if people don't want to hear it come from me, I don't know who they're going to listen to it come to. God has to raise somebody else up to bring it to you. I don't know how long that's going to take. But that's not up to me. I tell you the truth. You take it, you leave it, you don't listen to it, you go against it. That's your choice. You have free will to do that. But it is my job to inform you. So, I just wanted to share that. My main thing was to get on and talk about the scratches demonic thing I had. But, like I said, I always end up, being honest. So this is JT saying, have a blessed one.